Thanks for tuning into the 6Three podcast. I'm your host, Joel, with my co-host Ben and our special guest, Blake Timmer, your West Michigan real estate agent for Blue House. Welcome back.
Thank you.
He's our MLB stud, I guess. I mean, obviously Ben is a part of this show. Ben exists, but Blake is a wonderful special guest to have in regards to Major League Baseball knowledge. So, yeah, because this is basically halfway for a lot of these teams. Most teams are playing their 78th to 82nd game of the year today. And so this is pretty much cuts it right down the middle. Is a better idea on how this league may finish for this season and where our picks for awards have landed themselves. So with that, let's see how much our top 30 players for the 2023 season has changed from our pre-season to 80 games in. Let's have Blake, you start us off. Who's the best player in baseball right now?
Right now, I still think it's Shohei. I think Shohei's still up there.
Yeah, he's number one in our preseason, so we're not wrong.
Yeah. I mean, he eviscerated the White Sox the last two nights, so I can't really, especially last night.
Eviscerating a lot of people that he's playing. It's not just the White Sox.
He had 2 home runs and had 10 strikeouts in the same game, so it's kind of absurd.
Well, we've had some surprising success against the White Sox this year. I don't think any of us really predicted that kind of collapse. So, Ben, who was your number 2 best player in baseball?
I'm gonna go with Acuna Jr., Ronald Acuna Jr. here. Okay. He's hitting 331. He's got 19 bombs, 51 RBIs, and how many stolen bases? A crap ton, if I remember correctly. Where is it? He's got 36 stolen bases as well. So he's on pace for like almost 80. So pretty crazy. I mean, he has an argument to be the best player other than he doesn't pitch. That's the only thing knocking him right now. So it's great to see him back and healthy. So
yeah, that's a good one. I'm gonna go with Aaron Judge for number 3.
All right.
Just about hitting 300, has 19 home runs, 40 RBIs. His on base percentage is about 405 right now. So still the most consistent player on that Yankees team right now. And I think that was kind of what we also talked about in our preseason was Yankees have a bunch of it's basically a retirement home for the Yankees in a lot of ways outside of Volpe. And even Volpe probably could use some time back down in AAA again. But yeah, Judge has been like a mainstay in that lineup just to keep that offense running. So
yeah. Like it.
All right, back to me with number 4.
Yeah.
All right, I still think the Tony duo is good, so I'm gonna go put Trout up there for 4.
Yeah.
He just does everything phenomenally, so I don't think there's a ton to add there.
He's he's hitting 253, which is pretty low by his standards, but still 17 home runs. I think he's a little low on the stolen bases, but I think Father Time's catching up to him a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, they're shut him down. They aren't letting him run nearly as much as he used to. So
yeah.
Still an effective player in the lineup and a player that a lot of pitchers don't want to see. So.
Yep. What is this number? 5?
Yeah, it'll be 5. Yeah.
Give me Corbin Carroll.
All right.
293, 17 bombs, 44 RBIs. His OPS is 938, which is 6th in the entire league. Yeah, I mean, I think I wouldn't say he's a surefire rookie of the year, but I mean, he's got 23 stolen bases. But I think at this point, he's the rookie of the year unless De La Cruz catches up with him, which is possible. But I mean, Carroll's been up the whole year, and he's been a beast for a really fun to watch Diamondbacks team. So
it would be hard to argue against Carroll if he's maintains this in any kind of aspect for the rest of the year. Even with the way De La Cruz has been on a tear, I mean, I don't. Carroll's been doing it longer, more consistently then, so it'd be hard to argue that.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
interesting. That's your
Corbin
NL
Carroll
Rookie
is
of the Year pick. Yeah.
Corbin Carroll's fourth in the MLB in WAR right now. So
I think it's impressive that's your NL Rookie of the Year pick, and here he is going 5 in our midseason rankings.
yeah,
So it says a lot. He's had a great year for the Diamondbacks, and the big reason why the Diamondbacks are not the Diamondbacks of the past. They're a hard team to play right now because they play hard. They're like the NL version of the Texas Rangers, in my opinion.
a little bit less.
Those two teams play 100 miles an hour every game.
Yep.
So
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
they're not like Luis Robert running to first base, that's for sure.
He was hurt. I don't know.
No. Okay.
Shots fired.
He's gonna be on the list too somewhere.
I definitely had. I think I had him towards the bottom of the 25 top 30, but yeah,
Seventh in the MLB in WAR right now.
My
I don't
next
think
year.
WAR is the most important stat, but okay.
No, I don't think so. But it's fourth in the MLB in homers though.
Yeah,
That's-
I mean,
that's good. I'm just glad
he
he's
deserves.
healthy.
He's in the conversation for top 30. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to take him yet. Maybe I'm changing my mind. Hang on. I'm gonna say give me Jose Ramirez here next.
Okay.
Still a guy that I know both of us, all three of us actually, just being AL Central. Our team is in the AL Central. We have to face him this many times a year. And dude's hitting just shy of 300, 12 home runs, 46 RBIs. And he's not striking out a whole heck of a lot. In fact, he's walking more than he's striking out this year. 4 more walks than strikeouts. So and decent speed. I mean, 7 stolen bases. And OPS is just shy of 900. So again, Jose Ramirez is a guy that I hate seeing every single year, but here he is.
Yeah.
Back to me.
Yeah.
All right, Luis Arias, I think is a top contender. Obviously, hitting 399, and
Yeah.
I would hate to play in Miami, but he's putting on a show every day for maybe about 10 fans. But hey, good for him.
Thankfully, those
down to
slap
Miami, he's killing it. So
thankfully, those slap singles are just slap singles, right? If that guy had any ounce of power, it would be game over. Because hitting 400 is almost impossible in today's game. With the way I think it's the MLB batting average right now is like 234. So that's way low.
yeah.
Like record low. And the fact that he's hitting almost 400 is so counterculture to the way the MLB has progressed.
Yeah, he's bringing the game back.
I mean, he reminds me of Plasto Polanco, but even better. Just makes contact with the ball, and it's always like soft slapstick contact, but it gets there. Knows exactly where to drop it.
He is hitting.
I think like a Juan Pierre or something.
He is hitting a lot of doubles though. His OPS is 945.
I think his highest exit velo though is 94. So it's not like crazy.
I mean, he's got 3 homers, but nothing great, but still 945.
If you can help your team get on base though, 40% of 445% of the time he's on base because he walks more than he strikes out too. I mean, he's crazy great eye contact with that stuff, man. I don't know.
Yes. I mean, his OBP this year
450. Yeah.
Pretty nuts. So yeah, I like Arise. He deserves to be up there. I'm gonna go with Bo Bichette. He's hitting 323. He's got 14 homers, 47 RBIs. His OPS is 866. He's played really good defense. Let's see here. It's 3.8 WAR. Yeah, I mean, he's really kind of. I don't know. I don't like his swing. He strikes out a little too much for my liking. He's still probably going to strike out 120 times this year, but he walks it. He doesn't walk at all. He only has 14 walks this year, but he's projected to hit 30 home runs, driving about 100. It's pretty darn good for a shortstop. So, yeah.
What I wish Javi Baez could be, because he swings at just about everything. As you pointed out, he's only walked 14 times. He swings at so much. In fact, I saw his chase rate is top 5 in the league. Javi Baez is actually second, so I think I'm trying to remember who was first. But like it's so crazy.
Luis Robert is first.
Oh, is he? Okay.
I was gonna say Jonathan Scope, but
Scope might be Scope's up there too, but
Hey, shout out to your prediction on Scope though, because I know you said you were a little exaggeratory by saying he's going to hit 150 by halfway through, but like the fact that he's hitting like 205 with
wasn't
no
that far
power.
off. Wasn't that far off.
I mean, you predicted he was probably going to be DFA'd or gone or whatever by the All-Star break, and you're pretty. I think he should be. If it wasn't like an injury riddled Tigers, he probably would be gone.
Yeah, they have to keep him right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's wild. Okay, so after Bichette, I've got Freddie Freeman here next.
Yeah,
Freddie Freeman's hitting 316 right now, 14 home runs, 48 RBIs. He's getting on base again almost 40% of the time. And surprisingly 10 stolen bases. I don't really ever picture Freeman as like that barn burner or anything like that, but yeah, 10 stolen bases is nothing to scoff at, right? I mean, and the way these catchers have rifle arms these days. There's not a lot of stolen bases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Like it.
Blake.
It's back to me. Yep. I think this is a guy we didn't have on the board at all. Yandy Diaz kind of coming out of nowhere.
Yeah.
315, and obviously the Rays, we know they had a hot start and were very hard to contain at all. But yeah, it's fun to watch. And we didn't have him up there at all. I know I've watched him a number of times and always thought, he looks like a decent ball player, but he's putting it together this year. So
for sure.
Yeah, I like Yandy Diaz. He can draw a walk too. He's pretty good at
that. Give me Marcus Semien.
Just saw him a bunch, but the Tigers handled him for the most part.
Yeah, he's hitting 283, 11 bombs, 55 RBIs, which is 6th in the league, over 800 OPS. He's on pace for 25 and almost 115 RBIs. He's walking more, striking out a little bit less. Yeah, he's having a really good year. I mean, I was really hoping the White Sox would have spent some money on him this offseason, and that would have solved a lot of their problems, but they're cheap. So, but yeah, he's a really good player. He's turned himself into a good second baseman when he was not a great shortstop. So it's a good position switch for him.
Well, he's making a run now. He started out horrendous this year. Kind of made his rookie year look like a fluke, but I'm going to go with Julio Rodriguez. He's starting to come on strong. Been one of the best players in the league the last month and a half. He's up to 244 finally after struggling to hit 200 from the beginning of the year. 13 home runs, 42 RBIs. He's got 18 stolen bases, so also can run, and he's a phenomenal fielder. So.
All right, I think I gotta go with the pitcher.
Do you have to? Shohei Ohtani pitcher version?
No, well, I guess technically we wanted the pitcher there too, but just the pitcher. Shane McClanahan, I think he's been. Hey, I know he got a little dinged up. Was it a week ago?
Yeah, it sounds like he'll make his next start, but yeah,
okay.
His back is.
Yeah, I knew he didn't tear it up like Boyd, and he's gone on the IL again.
Yeah. Home run Boyd.
Oh man, but yeah, McClanahan, he's leading in the ERA and the wins, so it's a nice categories to be in.
Mm.
Yep. Give me Corey Seager.
So many Rangers, man.
Middle infielder. He's hitting 345. He's got 10 bombs, 47 RBIs. His OPS is over 1,000. That's pretty good. He's got an RBI against Detroit right now in the game right now, so that's good.
I don't want to hear about it.
Doesn't strike out, doesn't walk too much either though. He just hits. He just rakes. So, yeah, and he plays great defense at shortstop. He's just a really good player. So.
You got that rally started for him last night too. Right after Spencer Torkelson tied it up in the 8th, with a home run. He decides Seager has to come back and start to rally of his own, and you have to give up 5 runs because their bullpen was due to fall apart. Let's be honest; they were like second or first best bullpen in the league the last 2 months, and then they just finally.
It's hard when the day before you couldn't even get through 2 innings with 2 different pitchers. So it's gonna put.
It was inevitable. They've been crazy good, so they're also due like a terrible outing. But yeah,
like overworked at this point.
Yeah.
The entire starting rotation is in like a graveyard. So, I mean,
amen to that.
It's not going to work. I mean, it's going to be.
I still want Lorenzen hitting DH for the Tigers.
I mean, probably
2-way. Yeah, might as well.
Not a bad idea.
He's probably the next closest pitcher to Shohei, which is still a huge drop off, but he's a great hitter as a pitcher.
Cody Clemens pitched a couple times for the Phillies, didn't he?
Yeah.
That guy could hit 60. I mean, he pitched a couple times with the Tigers too. He could pitch 63-mile-an-hour droppers. That's for sure. Let's see here. I'll take Juan Soto here next. I think he's also top 3 in on-base percentage, top 5 in OPS. He's got 14 home runs, 41 RBIs, hitting 270 this year. I just look. He's 6th in OPS, so been a really solid player. He's leading the league, I think, in walks also. Yeah, 72 walks, 72 strikeouts. He's 50-50. So,
yeah, I don't think Adolis Garcia has been taken yet.
Nope.
Well, let's just take another Ranger. Why don't we?
Yeah, he's leading the RBI category. Only hitting 258, but he's got 19 bombs, so he's putting it together this year. I know he was always a free swinger.
Yeah, I mean, if he makes contact, he destroys the ball. He's on pace for 178 strikeouts this year, but he's also on pace for 40 bombs and 130 RBIs. So
he hit a straightaway home run last night against the Tigers. I was like, that thing. He just looks like he lightly tapped it, and it just straight over the center field wall.
We should compare that with Arias.
Yeah.
See how many he's on track to have strikeout wise. Probably 10.
He's got 16 right now, so not many. Maybe like 32.
I'm just gonna stick with the Rangers theme. Tells you I like this team. Nathan Eovaldi is what I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take another picture here. He's 9-3, 2.82 ERA. He's got over 100 strikeouts. Yeah, I mean, he's on pace. I mean, he's nasty. Throws almost 100 miles an hour. He's touched triple digits a couple times. Nasty stuff. Doesn't walk anybody. He's not giving up as many home runs this year. So, he's having a really good year on a really good team.
I'll take another guy that's kind of like Mike Trout. Just obviously the talent's there. Maybe his numbers aren't as inflated as they normally would, but Kyle Tucker, really good player in this league, hitting 273, which is not bad still. 10 home runs, 43 RBIs, and 14 stolen bases. Gets on over 35% of the time with an OPS of about 80. So again, Kyle Tucker is one of those really good players, really reliable right fielder as well. So yeah, I'll take Kyle Tucker here.
What number was that?
So that would be 8. That was 18 right there. So this is 19 for Blake.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going back to a pitcher. I don't know if either of you guys watched Spencer Strider though this year.
Yes.
I know he's had a couple rough outings, but
yeah, he's had bad ones. Yeah.
He's still putting up great numbers. He's got 146 strikeouts. I just think it's amazing. I don't know. You look at his legs and the movement he can get. It's wild.
He does have the biggest legs in baseball.
He's the AJ Dillon of baseball.
He wears those tight pants, and then his feet just look ginormous.
Yeah, he's kind of a weird looking fellow.
Yeah,
he gets such a jump off that rubber, though. I mean, I know it's not Carter Caps, but it's close to Carter Caps, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Carter Caps? He had the hop skip. Pitcher, right?
He threw hard. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't like Garrett Cole, but I'm gonna pick Garrett Cole here.
I'm boycotting taking a pitcher apparently because I'm not taking one yet.
He's 8-1, 2.78 ERA, 113 Ks. I mean, he's been really freaking good. So, his ERA has been better on away from Yankee Stadium than it is at Yankee Stadium. He's on pace for almost 250 Ks this year. So he's yeah, he's had a great season. 3.3 WAR as a pitcher halfway through the year is pretty good. So
That's good. I am gonna take give me Mookie Betts here next. One of the stronger arms in outfield. Hitting 253, which is pretty low for him. He's a career 290 hitter. But 19 home runs is, I think, top 6 or 7 in the league. 47 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, and again, on base 35% of the time. So pretty solid.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the Braves to Matt Olson.
Well, yeah, only behind Shohei, I think, in homer.
Yeah, he's hitting behind Shohei. He's got 26 bombs. The average is down there a little bit, 237, but
strikes out a ton too.
Yeah, not far off league average. So, yeah, another fun guy to watch. Hit the ball a long ways.
So. Yeah, I mean, great. I mean, his really big downfall right now is the average and strikes out a ton. He's like Adam Dunn this year, basically, I would say.
Yeah, I was gonna say Carlos Pena, Adam Dunn.
Carlos Pena, yeah.
Same guy, basically.
Yeah.
I'll go with Luis Robert here. I know he gets flack for that moment lapse of judgment.
But he was injured.
But 22 homers, 43 RBIs. I mean, he's kind of, the strikeouts have started to go down a little bit. He's still on pace for way too many. Doesn't walk enough. But he's on pace for 44 home runs this year, which is pretty nuts, and 40 doubles. And if he gets healthy, he'll still steal some bags too. So let me see how many stolen bases he's got right now. He's only got 4, but he'll steal some bags if he gets healthy. So, and he plays a really good center field. I think he deserves to be in the top 30 for sure. 4th in the league in home runs. You deserve top 30.
Give me Vlad Jr. Next year, hitting 280. I think he's 17th or 18th in RBIs and 49. Only 11 homers, which is pretty low for him. So I do expect a little bit of a run on that at some point here. Also only drawn 28 walks, which is pretty low for him. But overall, still, he's a really solid first baseman and quality hitter to have on the plate.
All right, I'm going to do a wild thing and take a relief pitcher because you got to have somebody to close it down.
Yes, Alex Lange.
No, Tigers did not make the list. Emmanuel Clase.
Yeah.
I obviously, again, a Central guy, so we see him a lot, and his stuff's just nasty. He comes out of the pen, huge frame. I guess he's only 6'2", 206. I feel like that's not right because he looks a whole lot bigger on TV. But he's leading the saves with 24. He's got a respectable ERA at 2.35, 35 Ks. So
yeah, he's nasty. Those 100-mile-an-hour cutters, that's not really fair.
It reminds me of Betances.
Yeah,
I think he threw him at about 95, 96.
Yeah.
Then he went AWOL.
I think he got hurt and then just never could figure it out again.
Yeah. It's like
so Noel, you're going with Alek Manoah, right?
After my text I sent you yesterday. Yeah.
He was getting teed off on by like college kids. I'm like,
by FG, he was in the FCL, gave up 11 earned runs and 2.2.
Pretty sure it was a 16-year-old on that other team just teeing off on him. I'm like, this is not working.
He's working on things. Come on.
Got the yips, dude. You can't work on that.
No, you need to go see a psychologist and pray.
It's all in the brain there at that point.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go with Wander Franco here. Hitting 283. The offensive numbers are good. They don't stand out like crazy. 283, 9 homers, 36 RBIs, 800 OPS. That's all good. But he's the best defensive shortstop in the game right now. Leads shortstops in defensive runs saved. In defensive WAR, he leads all players. So, yeah, pretty impressive. He also he's got a flair for the dramatic a little bit with some of his plays, which it's kind of fun to watch. So I think he deserves to be up there.
I kind of like that. I mean, I haven't taken a picture yet, but I like the bullpen direction. I'll go with another bullpen guy that does not get the love he deserves. He's having a great year. Yennier Cano for the Baltimore Orioles. I think he's second. He's second in the league in holds. I think he's got 18. He's got a 2.5 WAR as a relief pitcher. His ERA is like 0.95. He's got 4 saves, even if they need him to come in there and save. And his K through 9 is about 8.5 too. So I think his whip. Let's just talk about his whip. His whip is 0.8 also. So just outstanding numbers out of the bullpen for Yennier Cano.
Yeah.
All right, what number are we on now?
This is your last one. So 28.
Oh, so I should take something wild.
Yeah, dude. Everybody's got to take a wild one.
Look, Manoah, I'm telling you. There's some dude on Twitter.
We're gonna get our podcast shut down if we take Manoah, man.
There is some dude on Twitter who like is like an Alek Manoah truther, and it's just like always tweeting like he's on the way back or whatever. And then that account that always is like it's like MLB images that precede like terrible things always posts his post before he pitches or after he pitches because he's pitched so bad this year. So it's pretty funny.
I think he's a little down on his numbers this year, but obviously a top player in the MLB, Paul Goldschmidt. I know the Cardinals have struggled a little bit. Yeah. Obviously they're getting back from London. You got jet lag, all that fun stuff. But his average is 283. It's not bad. His power is a little down this year, but
Father Time will do that. Father Time will do it. I mean, he's only down 20 spots from our preseason. We picked him at 8 in the preseason, so 28 now. I mean, he's good. No, I'm obviously I'm saying it. So you're good.
I like the pick.
Yeah. Dude, mine's gonna be even weirder. Mine doesn't even belong in here, but I'm just gonna say it because it hurts.
Go a couple different directions here, but I'm gonna go with Ketel Marte. He's hitting 295. He's got 15 bombs, 43 RBIs, 901 OPS, which is 11th in the league. Again, really fun guy to watch. He's been really good for the Diamondbacks. And those are pretty impressive offensive numbers for a second baseman. So, yeah. 3.6 WAR, 7th in the league.
This pick should be probably like Marcus Stroman or something, but I'm going to pick Jeimer Candelario.
He's up there. He's had a good year.
He is second in the league in doubles, only one behind Freddie Freeman's 27. So he's got 26 doubles. He's got more triples than Freddie Freeman, almost the same amount of home runs as Freddie Freeman. And actually has not struck out as much as he ever did with the Tigers. Hitting 263, which not great, but there's actually players in this list that have hit a lower batting average than that. So, Jeimer's not, and he's been pretty good at the hot corner too this year. Usually sometimes in Detroit wasn't the most reliable there in third base, but Jeimer's been a good player. He's got a 2.5 WAR. So.
I definitely considered him. I think I probably put him closer to like 37, 38, but like he had a great year. So,
it really should be Marcus Stroman.
And I just saw the name and I'm like, there's no way. If you saw the stats, I was like, but I'm like, I can't put Jeimer Candelario up in the top 30. That's like
running that off doubles, and I mean overall because he's had a better season he's ever had in Detroit, so it stings a little bit. In reality, I think that pick probably could be like Marcus Stroman, who's leading all pitchers in WAR. I think he's got like one of the lowest starting whip rates for all starting pitchers. Yeah. So Stroman's a good pick there.
Yeah, I still can't get over that he played for the U.S. when they won, and then he went to play with Puerto Rico. So
traitor. He's the Benedict Arnold of the World Baseball Classic.
I just don't understand what the thought process was there, but okay.
So yeah, from here we'll do our division predictions, award predictions. Let's start here with the AL East. See how different we have come here. What is the order that you think the AL East finishes in based on how it's played so far?
I mean, I think the Rays win it, although the Orioles are giving them a run for their money a little bit now.
Hey, you remember? Hey, I could like just flash back to the preseason when I said the Orioles are going to be one of the best teams in the AL East. They're going to finish last. That's all I heard. I'm like, dude, the Orioles are real, man.
I mean, they still could finish last. This is a pretty tight
The
division.
AL East is a bunch of
They
talent.
very
Yeah.
easily could.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't think they will. I think they'll finish third, is what I was getting to. So I think it's going to be Rays. I'll let the Yankees catch up with the Orioles here. I think the Orioles' youth is just going to kind of shine through. And I think the Yankees will finish second, then the Orioles, and then Blue Jays, Red Sox.
Just for the record, the Blue Jays, who are in fourth in the East, would be the top of the Central.
Every single one of these teams would be in the top of the Central.
Yeah, even the Red Sox would be ahead. I mean, every team is below 500
Yeah,
in
you're
the
right.
Central.
Every single one of these teams has a better record than the Twins. It's ridiculous. And the Red Sox are like pretty meh. Like the White Sox took 2 or 3 from them. They're pretty meh. They're okay.
Well, Tigers are above the White Sox, so
They are.
How's this division finishing out for you?
I think it's gonna hold. I'm good with the Rays, Orioles, Yankees, Blue Jays, Red Sox. I think that's a good. I'm not a big Yankees fan, and yeah, I hope they place third. But yeah, they're all gonna beat up on each other. Unfortunately, it's a balanced schedule now, so you don't have them play each other as much as they used to.
Yep.
So I think that's hurting the Central and helping the East.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think you look at the Central, it's crazy. I mean, I mean, the Central's record outside the division is so bad. So bad.
Yeah.
I've got Tampa Bay still, but they're kind of collapsing a little bit too. They aren't definitely the hot team that they were at the beginning of the year. I'm going to keep the Orioles at second. I'm going to have the Blue Jays pass the Yankees though, and the Yankees drop to 4 and the Red Sox to 5. So, AL
It's sad that
Central.
we're saying the Rays are falling off and they're 54 and 28.
We're in 6 in their last 10 now.
I know, but like, come on, like that is nuts.
I know
Like,
they started out ridiculous.
So yeah.
For the AL Central, I'm gonna, I'm gonna wait to hear what you guys say because I don't want to sound dumb if I start hyping up the Tigers.
You want me to start, or you
go for it, Blake? Let me have it.
Yeah.
All right. I think the Guardians are going to be at the top. I think Twins will be second. Third, I'm going to go with the White Sox. I still think they'll make a little bit of a turnaround. Tigers second to last, and the Royals rounding it out. So,
Yeah, I would. I'm gonna put it exactly the same as of right now. I just I know the Tigers are like a game and a half up on the White Sox right now, but like, I don't know. I just feel like the injuries are too much for any team to overcome. It's not even their fault.
You're saying the way it is now, like the Twins are going to win still?
No, I'm saying Guardians, Twins,
Okay.
White Sox, Tigers, Royals.
Okay.
The Royals are horrendous. Obviously, they're going to be last, and
I picked the Royals to be last.
I still think this division is going to be. I think it might be won by a team that's under 500. I might make that prediction.
I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think the Guardians are going to also come back and figure it out. I think there's just up and down that lineup overall. It just seems like they have a better opportunity to be more consistent. Twins aren't bad, but extremely inconsistent. I actually want to say the Tigers could even finish second if they get. I mean, if their pitcher's back, like School's about to come back, Erod's about to come back. Obviously, I think if Erod's healthy by the trade deadline, I think even get anything more than a bag of chips for him. Then they should.
Well, that's my other thing too. I think the Tigers are more apt to sell than a team like the White Sox, because like the White Sox are probably sitting there going, "We have to figure out a way to like somehow win this crappy division," and we're
like
still
you said at the beginning of the preseason, like on paper they're so talented. Like, what's going on?
Well, I know what's going on, but we cannot. That's fine.
Do you want to talk about it?
No,
now is a good. This is a safe space.
I don't need to. No.
Okay.
First enough at the TV.
I think you're right. I want to be a little different. I'm gonna say Tigers get healthy when they get Riley Green back. Torque's pop is going to continue to be okay. I don't think he'll ever be a 30 homer guy, but if I can get 24 homers from Torque this year, I'm feeling good about that. Riley Green comes back healthy soon, and if they don't trade Erod, which I hope they do, but if they don't, and they have Manning and Scooble all back healthy, They don't have to rely on home run Boyd anymore. Michael Lorenzen's had a nice year for him. Starting pitching is good, and obviously we talked about it, the bullpen too. Now I don't know what they feel like they can get for the bullpen. Guys like Jason Foley, Ben, you and I talked about this at camping. Like really, almost any of these bullpen guys, you probably could get something for any of these bullpen pitchers.
For a team that they could trade away probably 4 of the guys in the bullpen and get.
I think could have been 5, right? But Vest is hurt now for a while.
Yeah, but maybe not anything crazy. But like, there's probably teams out there who are positioned well for the playoffs who just need an arm in the pen that would gladly take 3 or 4 of the Tigers guys.
Yeah, and that because that's been their real strength. Obviously, we talked about the last 2 months, the Tigers have had like the second best bullpen in the league. So, I think, like I said, assuming they don't sell or they stay put or whatever happens here, I think the Tigers can finish second. But I'm gonna say Minnesota's third and Chicago White Sox are fourth. KC is horrendous. They might battle for worst with the A's. So that's gonna be fun here. AL West, Ben, how do you think this pans out?
I'm gonna go Rangers. Man, I was high on the Mariners preseason, but they've struggled. I'm gonna go Rangers, Angels, Astros, Mariners, A's. So I'm gonna go how it is right now. The Astros just haven't impressed me at all this year. Pretty mediocre. And the Angels, I think, Shohei and Trout being healthy, and Shohei just kind of doing what he's doing, I think, and they play outside the division a lot more this year, like Blake kind of mentioned. I think they are better than pretty much. They are better than every team in the Central, and they could beat up on some of the lower teams in some of the other divisions. So I think they're as talented. They're a really talented team. So I think they'll finish second. And the Astros haven't impressed me. The Mariners have a lot of talent still. I like some of their arms, and I like Rodriguez and some of the guys at the plate they have, but they just haven't put it together this year. And then the A's are just a dumpster fire. So, they suck.
The A's are a gimme in this division for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, Rangers first for me. I just watching them already a couple times here with the Tigers. It's just, they play so hard. They're always going 100 miles an hour. And when they don't need to, they're still like diving for first base on like infield singles. Probably don't need to. I think the Astros are going to figure it out. We were all very high on the Astros at the beginning of the year. I think we all picked Houston to win the division. And I think the Angels will probably finish third, Mariners fourth, and A's last.
Yeah.
All right. I think the Rangers, gonna stay. I have the Astros going second. Just think they're gonna get better. I don't know. I feel like a team with that much talent can't be that bad for that long. Angels just always seem to disappoint me, so they're just gonna be middle of the road again. And the Mariners, like you said, you thought they'd be more exciting, but I think they're very hot or cold the seasons that they go through. So the Athletics, there's not much to speak of there. So
speak on the NL East here. Who do you
have? Braves. They've been fun to watch. They're just their offense. They're hitting like 330 this month, which is absurd. And they've
17 run differential too is impressive.
I mean,
only the Rangers have a better one, I think.
Yeah, and the Rangers put up crazy amounts of runs, absurd run totals. The Rangers are averaging like 7 runs a game or something dumb. So, but Braves, I think, I'm going to say Phillies. I think they're going to surpass the Marlins. I think they'll go on a little bit of a run here. That might be tough, but the Marlins have some really good arms. I think I'll go with the Phillies. Then the Marlins. Then the really disaster that are the New York Mets after that. What a terrible season. And the Nationals, because they stink.
Yep. Other than Lane Thomas. Lane Thomas is good.
Yeah.
Well, and Jamer, obviously.
And Jamer.
Jamer's out there balling. Top 30.
No, I'm straight with Ben. I think that's exactly how it's going to finish out based on what I've seen. So
the Phillies just need to get healthy, and I think they could. I don't think they'll push for the division, but we'll see where the wild card ends up. You never know.
I mean, Atlanta to me feels like a gimme in this division.
Mhm.
They look really good. I do think it's hard. It's like weird saying like, Miami's gonna hold on to second place. They could even. I could see Miami collapsing and the Mets getting it together a little bit, and that kind of switching Miami could fall all the way to 4. So that still feels semi-open. Obviously, I think the Mets are like 8.5 games, I think, behind the Marlins. So that's still going to take some work, but I'm going to take Philly next. Yeah, so I think it looks like we're all going to be in agreement on this one. I don't think the Mets can quite catch up to the Marlins, but yeah, makes sense. I like your guys' thought process there. All right, for the Central, NL Central, I'm going to take. Oh man, the Reds are so on fire right now.
Yep.
All of a sudden they're first place in their division, which I think they were literally like last not too long ago.
Yep.
But I like Milwaukee's roster. That's tough.
Yep.
I think Milwaukee's supposed to get an arm back pretty soon too. What Corbin Burns has been hurt, but I think he's supposed to be back pretty quick. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna take the Brewers, but I'm gonna have Cincinnati finish second. I think Pittsburgh could finish third, Chicago Cubs finish fourth, and St. Louis fifth. St. Louis is, I think the age has finally caught up to them, and now they're trying to rebuild a little too late. So that's kind of what we're seeing there.
Yeah, this one's tough. It's probably one of the tougher. That's probably the toughest one to kind of figure out. Just because the Reds are so hot, but they weren't at the beginning. And so what team is real, right? And I know they brought up De La Cruz, and that kind of injected some excitement into the lineup, and that matters. But I do think the league.
Votto's back, yeah.
Yeah, but I do think the league will adjust to Ellie De La Cruz a little bit. So I do think he'll come back to earth. So I am going to go with the Brewers 1. I'm actually going to go with the Cubs 2. I just think they're a pretty good team. I think they play a pretty good brand of baseball. I know they're 3 under 500 right now, but I mean the Reds are only 4 over. So, and I think the Reds will go back down to earth at 3, and then the Pirates, and then the Cardinals. I think it'll be a pretty tight division all the way through, kind of like the AL Central. Not as bad, but close. The Cardinals are clearly 1,000 times better than the Royals, though. So it's like,
the Cardinals that's for. Yes, no contest.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I've got Brewers first, Reds second, put Cubs third because their bullpen, they just don't have one. Like they have Michael Fulmer back there. They just don't have anybody to shut it down. So potential trade partners there with the Tigers and Cubs. They seem to always make something work. So and then Pirates, Cardinals, nothing crazy there. But I can't put the Cubs higher than third just because they have nobody to shut it down. I've watched a couple times.
Zach McKinstry, right? Michael Fulmer.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
how about Clay Rapata? Clay Rapata. That's a throwback name for cash considerations.
Well, we gave him Alex Avila too, and we got.
Oh, that's right.
Trying to think.
Jamer was from there too, right? Wasn't Jamer from the Cubs?
Yeah, might have been. Yeah,
Jamer was from the Cubs. Obviously, Javi played there for a while.
Something's gonna happen. Wilson? Oh, that's right, Justin Wilson. Yeah, there's always a dude. That's right. That's a good point. All right, Ben, close it out here with the West. How do you think this pans out?
This one's tough too because I like the top 3 teams a lot. The Rockies are a disaster, so we'll put them last for sure. D-backs are 3 up on the Dodgers right now. I don't love the Giants. The Giants their Giants are hot though. They're 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Dodgers, Diamondbacks, Giants, Padres, Rockies. I think the Dodgers still have clearly the best roster, and I think that'll win out in the end. But I think it'll be close. And I think the Diamondbacks have a good chance to still make the playoffs.
Yeah. I also am going to take the Dodgers first. I'm going to take San Francisco second, Arizona third. San Diego fourth, Colorado last. But it's hard because again, I watch the Diamondbacks play baseball and they play so stinking hard. I just think
Would
there's
not surprise me if any of those top 3 teams in that division win the division, though. The Diamondbacks are just a well put together team. Their pitching staff, or no, I'm sorry, the Giants are a well put together team. Their pitching staff's really good. Diamondbacks are young, and while
there's a lot of mediocrity still on Diamondbacks, and I think they're compensating by playing really hard.
Yeah, there's some automatic outs in that lineup still, and there's some pitching like holes. I mean, Tommy Henry, love the guy. Grew up right down the road from me, but he's not a frontline starter.
They just play with a lot of heart. They play really hard, so I think that's kind of making up and compensating for the mediocrity in that lineup.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Blake, what about you there?
I'm gonna go Giants. Then I'm gonna go Dodgers. Then I'm gonna go Diamondbacks. Then Padres, Rockies. The Dodgers are just inconsistent. It seems like they get dinged up a lot too.
Yep.
So that's why I'm not gonna put them one. I think the Giants will stay healthier and keep on playing good ball. So
yeah.
All right.
Anyway, of those 3.
All right. My ALCS matchup is gonna be Texas over Tampa Bay.
I like that. Yeah. I'm gonna go Tampa Bay over Texas.
Yep.
I agree with Joel. I think we want to see Texas in there. We want to see them back in the playoffs and going.
I like Texas a lot, though. They're probably.
I mean, we didn't even mention it, but like Jonah Heim has been amazing at catcher too this year.
He's in like 282 as a catcher,
and his defensive WAR at catcher is top 3 in the league too. So just crazy.
I worry about their pitching long term, though. I really do against a team that can shut them down from a pitching standpoint. I do worry about that because they're going to see some arms against the really good teams, and they're just out slugging some teams right now. So we'll see where that goes.
Blake, who's your NLCS matchup?
Oh, NLCS. I think I'm gonna go Atlanta, Toronto.
Why is Toronto in the NL?
Oh, sorry, I'm looking at my wrong picks here. Thank you. No, I think Atlanta and the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers will come back. Atlanta obviously is playing great baseball and they have a great team. So Dodgers typically play pretty well in the playoffs. So I think Atlanta over them though.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Atlanta and the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks sneaking in through the wild card, and Atlanta over them though.
Give me Atlanta and the Fighting De La Cruzes, the Reds.
Oh, man. You're really high on the Reds right now.
Dude, just wait till Christian Encarnacion comes up too.
I don't know, man.
Chef's kiss.
They're 4 above 500. Not
Dude,
that great. The pitching does not inspire confidence.
But in the last
Ashcraft going out there every 5th day, and he stinks.
In the last 30 days, I think they're like behind only the Giants and the best team in baseball. So
I know they're hot. They're really good. But I don't know. Long term, we'll see.
Joel, are we sure you're not moving to Ohio?
Yeah. A terrible idea.
Does that place still exist? There are some nuclear problems there. I don't know.
Butthole, but that's okay.
Ben, what's your World Series matchup and how many games?
Atlanta and Tampa.
Who's your World Series MVP too?
Atlanta in 6, Acuna MVP.
Blake, how about you?
I'm gonna go Atlanta, Texas.
That'd be a fun matchup. I mean, both those really would be, but that'd be fun.
Yeah, with Texas taking it. Even though I know I didn't have them going before, but I'm making a quick move.
All right, who's your MVP? Jonah Heim.
I'm gonna go back with Garcia.
Adolis.
He's
all right.
Hits the ball long ways.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the opposite of that. I do have Texas and Atlanta on my it's my winners too of their conferences, but I'm gonna take Atlanta versus Texas and give me Austin Riley.
Okay.
How many games did you? Oh, and I was gonna say Atlanta in 5 games. How many games are you doing your Texas Atlanta?
6.
6, okay. Cool. Let's see who's AL MVP then. All right. I'm gonna go with Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, I mean it's a no-brainer, Shohei, as of right now.
All three of us on Shohei.
Yep.
All right. NL MVP Ben.
Acuna.
Okay. Oh, Blake, how about you?
Let me take. I kind of want to steal your pick, De La Cruz, and say that he's just going to keep on riding it out here. I'm going to go with it. I'm just going to go with it.
That was my pick. That was my pick, man.
You're gonna go with Ellie De La Cruz for MVP?
Absolutely.
I figured you already had him for Rookie of the Year, so
no, I'm gonna take Ben's though, Corbin Carroll. So it'll be a battle. One of them gets to win Rookie of the Year, one gets to win MVP. You can't have both, right? Doesn't make any sense, but you can't have both. NL Cy Young Blake.
Spencer Strider.
Yeah, I was gonna go with Strider.
I think Ben picked that start of the season too. So props to Ben.
Yeah, I'll stick with it.
All right. I feel like I wanted to do something different. I picked Alcantara, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, does anybody break down they say he's tipping?
What's wrong? Yeah, I don't know. I think he is tipping though, because I mean he's had good moments, don't get me wrong, but like yeah, I mean apparently he's tipping pitches. Apparently. See, I saw a video and it kind of tried to break it down. But it was like very subtle. Like very subtle.
That was what Matt Manning was doing that for a while.
Yeah, he's not as backwards as Manoah, obviously, but he had a stellar year last year, and all of a sudden, it's not really there, and the movement.
The thing is, though, I mean, there was another guy who broke it down, and his advanced stats, even though he's a horse, and he definitely has great stuff, but like he doesn't miss a lot of bats. Like even his Ks per 9 last year were not like with the 100-mile-an-hour sinkers, like and the changeup that he has, and like we're not as high as you'd think. It was only like 9.5, something like that. So it's like, okay, like the advanced stats really aren't there. So he's not missing a lot of bats. His spin rate is not that high, and it went down a little bit from last year too. So I'm not a big like advanced stats guy, but like spin rate matters. I think I mean you're missing bats, so he's just not missing as many bats, and and their team isn't great, so that didn't help. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think he's still nasty, so I don't really know how people hit him.
I'm gonna take Zach Gallen for NLCS.
Yeah,
keep him rolling with the Diamondbacks.
Switching from Reds to Diamondbacks, back and forth.
I mean, best pitcher on the Reds right now is Hunter Green. I mean, he's still got a shot, right? We'll see.
Yeah.
AL Cy, I'm gonna take Shane McClanahan.
I was gonna take McClanahan as well. 11-1. Stays healthy.
I don't think there's much debate there.
No.
Ohtani.
Yeah, I guess you could go with Ohtani. Will they give him a MVP, Silver Slugger? Give him everything.
I mean, Ohtani is. I mean, his pitching numbers are great. Like but they're not a Cy Young great.
Right.
They're just really, really good.
So what do they call that if there's the Triple Crown? If he'd win the Triple Crown and he'd win the Cy Young, what do they call that?
The greatest season of all time. I don't know.
Demigod. I don't know.
Like I don't know. Yeah.
Just name it an Ohtani Award.
Right.
Yeah.
Get the Otani award. Yeah. No one else ever win that unless they let Michael Lorenzen play after Otani goes back to Japan. Let's see here. AL Rookie of the Year. Who you guys taking? I feel like this one's quite a bit more open. I think it's down to two guys in the NL, but it's like.
Yeah, I mean, in the NL, it's De La Cruz or Carroll.
You don't think Jordan Walker has an outside chance?
I mean,
I guess an
I'm
outside
gonna go with Josh Young, Texas.
Okay. Another Texas player. Gotta love it.
I mean, we're sticking with the theme here.
They seem so loaded, dude. It's
They
unbelievable.
are loaded.
Just glad the Tigers stole one game in that series.
Just spend a ton of money. They bought this team. I mean, they developed some of these guys. Don't get me wrong, but like,
well, they were trash last year.
Yeah, they bought Simeon. They got Seager. They got.
But they did. They had him last year too, and they didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean,
it took Adolis Garcia until he was like 29 to play.
Actually, learn how to sort of hit. I mean, he still can't really hit, but he hits for power.
Yeah, I would totally take Yenier Cano because I talked about him already. He's killing it out of the bullpen, but like that guy's not going to get recognized. Like I don't know. I would say. I mean, Gunnar Henderson's been okay. I'm going to say Masataka Yoshida.
Yeah, he's been really good. Second best odds.
Is he?
We'll take an outside one and go with like Grayson Rodriguez.
You think he's gonna figure it out?
He's got good stuff.
Like, he got crazy good stuff. He's been smoked a few times though.
You said Grayson Rodriguez you're going with?
Yeah,
it's sent him down for a minute to figure it out. But I wouldn't be surprised if he puts if the Orioles really figure it out, he's probably gonna have to be a big part of it. So
Ben, it's a win-win for you. If he's right, you get the preseason prediction is Grayson Rodriguez.
I do.
That's why I was looking back and I'm like, it's not a terrible pick.
No. He's had some moments. He's also been destroyed a few times, but I mean,
Spencer Strider got destroyed a couple times too. So
he did. He's also striking out everybody. So
he gets destroyed, then he strikes everybody out.
Yeah.
Who doesn't hit him?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with my guy De La Cruz as the NL Rookie of the Year.
I'll go with Carroll.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Walker. I'm gonna keep him.
Wow, look at that. We're all sticking with our free. That's wild. That's the first one we've done that.
I mean, I think Jordan Walker, I mean, he struggled out the gate, but he's been really good lately. So yeah.
AL manager odds. How about that?
I mean, I'll just go with. Let's go with Kevin Cash just because I have the Rays winning it.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of what I was looking at.
I don't like Kevin Cash. I think he tries to reinvent.
Dude, I'm gonna go with Bruce Bochy, but that's because they've kind of been a pleasant surprise. I guess. I actually think Bruce Bochy, his face is super annoying as an old man, but
an old guy. I like when he got tossed from a game. They were playing the White Sox the other day, and he was just funny. He wasn't as slow as Tony La Russa out the dugout, but it was close. Like
Bobby Cox could still haul when he was like 100.
You guys see the Dave Martinez getting him thrown out?
Yeah, I did see the other day when he jumped down on like all four when he behind the.
He's like laying.
See the guy that
on
jumped on all fours?
Oh, yeah, he was laying on the plate. He's like this. He was going off. Like
I've seen some hilarious memes about it. I'm like, oh man.
Some pretty good athleticism he still showed. It was nice.
Then I was trying to think of what managers do I think could do that and still get back up.
He's one of the few.
Yeah, because Dusty Baker ain't get back up.
Dusty Baker wouldn't even get out. He doesn't even get out of the dugout anymore. He's like, all right, like.
They saw a bad call from that, and like the pitching coach, I think the hitting coach went out to be like, "What the heck?" And then Dusty Baker was like, and behind the dugout. I'm like, "Good job, Dusty."
Just spits seeds out farther towards the umpire. That's the best he can do.
Threw some shells.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Blake. Who was your AL?
I still gotta stay with Rocco Baldelli. I think the Twins, Twins are doing good.
Dude, I hear a lot of Twins complain though that he gets outmanaged almost every game. Like some of his substitution decisions are like, I don't know. I see a lot of Twins people. I work with a lot of people out of Minnesota, and they complain about Rocco a lot. But
huge complaints about AJ every day too. So
but who's huge? I just used to work with him for a year. That was horrendous.
Hinch's problem is he's got the worst roster to work with.
And so
I'm
that's the thing
surprised with
about
what
him.
he's done with it, and I think
And
this
the
is a lot
second,
about Federer too. So how these like double-A pitchers are coming up and like Reese Olson, like that's Federer, right?
Yeah.
yeah, Federer's good. I wanted the White Sox to hire Federer when they had the pitching coach open. Federer's
Yeah.
great. I watched Federer
Um,
when he was a pitcher in college. I remember going to Michigan games, watching him pitch.
who's your NL manager? I'm kind of leaning towards Snicker, but
yeah,
I had him, so I'm gonna stay with him.
all right.
that's a good pick. I'm gonna go with Torey Lovullo though.
All right.
The Diamondbacks. They just extended him. I mean, they're hot. I had them had them sneaking in the NLCS. So
All right. Who is your comeback player of the year for AL and NL?
Liam Hendricks.
That's a good one.
If he comes back and pitches at all again, because I know he's got the elbow thing going on right now. If he pitches at all again, I think he'll just get it, even if he doesn't even perform.
Yeah.
I mean, cancer is kind of a thing.
All right. That's a good one. Yeah. Let's see. Trying to find out who I'm leaning towards here. Kind of looked at a couple guys.
I'm pretty sure Trey Mancini won it after he had cancer, so I'm just gonna kind of stick with the theme.
That does fit. Wasn't he? This might be a good one. No, that's a terrible. I don't want that one. For some reason, I was going to say Brandon Nimmo, but no, I don't want to do that. Do you have a guy, Blake?
I'm going between a couple. Oh, I don't know. I was almost gonna say somebody like Correa or something that he's just kind of been.
I know it's kind of. I've seen a bunch of guys that
been average, but he's never been as good as he once was for the Astros.
Definitely not a Toby Keith song, that's for sure. Let's see.
Whatever it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not it. I'm struggling on this one. Maybe. Yeah. Let's see how his numbers were last year. Ooh, that's a good one. Nah, he played a full season. That's not gonna work. He'll be my breakout player probably. That's the hard difference between comeback and breakout. Is like a breakout's a guy that was a major sleeper at the beginning of the year and just goes off. And then a comeback's a guy that basically had most of the last year off due to like injury or unforeseen circumstances and just had a nice year. So it's like, I guess I'm gonna go with Fernando Tatis, but here we go.
That was his fault.
But he was still off. He was still off.
All right. That's fair.
Cancer was Liam Hendricks' fault. It's probably a diet.
Sure.
It's living in
I'm
Chicago.
gonna stay off this one.
Okay.
Between Australia and Chicago.
I was gonna go with Chris Sale until he got hurt again.
I just realized Tatis' NL comeback anyway, so I still got to come up with my AL.
Right.
Oh, good. I'm not the only one that made a mistake tonight.
My NL is Joey Votto, by the way.
All right, that's a good one, yeah.
That is a good one. I'm still sticking with Bellinger, I think, for comeback NL.
All right.
That's a good one.
But he's somewhat coming back. He had a rough start, and he seems like he's turned it around a little bit. Yeah. And he got dinged up there for a little bit too.
Yep.
So.
I just don't know why it's so hard for me to come up with like a decent AL player here. Let me break it down. I'm gonna go American League, sort it here. Sure. Is Andrew Vaughn? Did he play a lot last year?
Yep.
He did. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys on here. I think Anthony Rendon.
Yeah, I picked him.
Um, Brandon Lau is a good one. Aroldis Chapman.
Aroldis is he's having a pretty solid year, but he played a lot last year too?
He's hurt though.
Did he? I mean, he pitched in 43 games last year.
Yeah, it's still not that great. I mean, that's a
Career high is like 60. So I don't know.
closer.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I should have prepped on this one a little bit. We'll have to come back to that one. We're not gonna do the Clemente Award. I don't know. Who's your Hank Aaron winner?
Do you have an AL and an NL, right?
I just did in general one, so no, just
Yeah, I think we just have one.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I don't know. I'll go with Pete Alonso.
I'm gonna take Acuna on this one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with Pete Alonso. I had him to start. Hopefully it works out.
I like Acuna as a pick there. Acuna is going to be top 5 in everything.
AL breakout player. I'm gonna take Yandy Diaz.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. I would say Garcia would be in that category, right?
I think so.
Olis? I thought he
Adolis.
killed it last year. Didn't he have like 30 home runs last year?
Yeah, but he probably hit like 200.
It's worth a look. I thought he had a good year last year.
I'm going to take Jonah Heim.
He hit 250 with 27 homers and 101 RBIs. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll take Jonah Heim.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah. I'm still working on my AL comeback too. It's like, gosh.
You could do Josh Jung, right?
Josh who?
Josh
Jung.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I
had him picked
was he's a rookie though, right? So he wouldn't
yeah.
have.
It could count still.
Who's your NL breakout player? I've got kind of gone back and forth. I think I'm going to take Lane Thomas.
Yeah.
I have Nick Madrigal, and I feel like he's still not breaking out yet. So I would say he could possibly, like, he was a star in college. I feel like he's got to be a little better now that he's on the north side, but maybe it's that south side. He got tainted. I don't know.
They traded him before he barely played.
I know.
Just ran himself into a bunch of outs. It's tough. And I'll go with Justin Steele.
That was my other. I actually typed Justin Steele, and then I pulled up his numbers, and he had like a 3.18 ERA last year, which is still pretty good. And I was like, ooh, but he's been
much.
Yeah, I think it was like 24 games last year.
Yeah, it wasn't nearly. I mean, he was kind of an end of the year kind of breakout. So I guess you could say he broke out last year a little bit, but Steele I think is really good. So
yeah, I'm really struggling on this. I don't think there's a lot of great players for this AL breakout. I know you guys both went with Rendon. Come back. You went with Hendricks. You went with Rendon, didn't you, Blake?
Yeah. Yep.
For years. I was looking at Brandon Lowe was another guy that popped up, but he hasn't been super great this year.
Nope.
Jack Flaherty hasn't been super great this year. It's like Joey Gallo hasn't been super great this year. So it's like I've been struggling on finding a good AL player. There's a couple actually. How much did he play last year though? Only 99 games. I'll take Yasmani Grandal then. He only played 99 games last year.
His average is way up. If he starts hitting any home runs at all, that's not a bad pick.
I just, especially with like the slim pickings in the AL, I feel Grandal's pretty solid. But
yeah, Grandal has a bad back and bad knees, so that's not a bad. I don't hate the pick.
All right, Blake, who was your NL breakout?
NL breakout. I stuck with Nick Madrigal.
Okay. And I forgot who your AL one was too.
Oh, I said Josh Young, but we didn't think he qualified.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm kind of harsh.
Sorry.
Would you say Brent Rooker falls in that category? I mean, he's been solid, but yeah, Brent Rooker played in.
Is Duran for the Rangers? Is he a rookie?
That's a good pick. If we have another Rangers guy, Duran, yeah, I don't think is he. I don't think he is.
He played last year. I know he played last year. I just don't know how much.
Because he's hitting 325 and not, he's only had a little over 200 at bats, but I would say
that qualifies because Jung didn't have that many last year at all. I don't think Jung played last year. Yeah. Otherwise, I was looking at Brent Rooker was another guy that I looked at. Brent Rooker only played in 16 games last year, and he's got 13 home runs already. Okay, so yeah, we'll do Ezekiel Duran. That guy plays super hard. Like he's one of those guys that I look at when I'm talking about how like the Rangers play hard. It could probably just be Ezekiel Duran doing it, and I just think, wow, this whole team is like. So, yeah, all right.
Maybe just made another error on my screen. I know I'm a little behind, but no surprise.
Yeah, I'm behind 2 on mine. So, but all right, well, we can get back to watching our teams play. Guys, I want to remind you again, check out Blake Timmer for all real estate needs if you're buying or selling. Now's the time to do it. I'm going to be seeing Blake very soon in regards to selling and buying my next final home. My wife prefers a final home. I would just see Blake every 4 years if it was up to me. Because I like change.
Something new, yeah.
I like change. So
need to be your
maybe I'll just have to go out and get a couple steaks with Blake in the meantime. But yeah. So yeah, Blake, a great real estate agent. You have anything you want to add on that, man? I could just shout you out all day.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. We're going to the 4th of July, so the next week and a half will be a little quiet just because 4th of July is coming up. So I'm not going to see a whole lot of listings get out there. July is the slowest month in the summer for real estate because Michiganders like to travel. Mm-hmm. So you may see a couple articles, people freaking out, oh, it's going backwards, it's slowing down, this and that. That happens every July. So be ready for the end of July when people are like, oh yeah, school's going to come up in August. We probably better get a house before that. So it's all cyclical.
Makes sense.
I see. I'm totally cool with not buying while everyone else is buying. It seems good for me. I'm being a little more patient, but I feel like I was going to say something in regards to that, Blake, and now it's like my train of thought is still boarding at the station. So shoot, how you had an open house today in Hudsonville, right? So
no, I was checking out a showing.
Checking out a showing. Okay.
Went very well.
So I was going to say, if you want to check out that house and that, or but you were showing somebody that house, so my bad. Don't take the house from Blake's clients. Sorry. All right. Well, it was good having you on, Blake. We will once again we'll see you at the end of the season when we preview the playoffs and recap the MLB season. It'll be good to have you on again.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much.
All right. We'll take care, guys.
See ya.
See ya.